I've always wanted to make a video about K-On!, but I've never really had any ideas for it, purely just because it's literally just 2D girls playing music. And that was until I discovered K-On! Hokkagu Live. This is incredible. Yeah, believe it or not, there's actually a K-On! Game that released all the way back in 2010 when I was still like 3 years old, and after hours of extensive and hard grueling research and hacking into files, I finally got my hands on this game and was actually able to play it. Now I'll warn you, the following footage is truly disturbing, and if you can't handle any of these subjects, please click off now. Now, this might look innocent on the surface, but as you slowly dive deeper into this game, it becomes a whole lot more horrifying. What the fuck is this? What's actually happening on my screen? Yeah, despite its innocent looks, this game is the hardest game on the planet, and I somehow managed to complete it, and I kind of want to go over my whole experience with the game and share it with you guys. So let's start off with the... You get to choose between 5 members of the Hokkagu band, and they all have their own instruments. Obviously, Yui and Azuma have their guitar, Mio has her bass, Mugi has her piano, and Ritsu obviously has her drums. There are up to 19 different songs that you can play, all being from the anime, of course. But you kind of have to unlock each one by just playing through each level, some being slightly more difficult than others. Just slightly though, not too much. That means you can experience every level 5 times, which adds up to a total of 95 different experiences. However, there's also a hard mode, which I would not recommend in the slightest, but that bumps up the total from 95 all the way to 190. So if you're planning to 100% the game, fucking have fun. And they all have their own difficulty depending on what level you chose. They all play remotely the same, except from Mio, who mainly uses the D-pad. The D-pad can also be used for other characters, but it's not their main notes. It just kind of gets added on. It reminds me of Undyne from Undertale, and that just adds like a whole extra layer of difficulty for no reason. Oh, and there's also Mugi. Now, Mugi might look innocent. You know, how hard could it possibly be to play a keyboard? Fucking impossible, apparently. Now, this is a rhythm game as well, and I want you to know that I suck donkey balls at rhythm games. So this playthrough was a challenge and a half to get through. One thing that makes it a lot harder as well is the columns that you're on constantly change angles, which, you know, is supposed to kind of keep you on your toes, but ends up just making it a whole lot more of a mess than you'd think. Not to mention all the crazy shit that's going on in the background as well. Random pictures showing up out of nowhere, the camera changing angle every 5 milliseconds, and that stupid animation to let you know if you're beating arse or fucking chewing it. If this doesn't sound too chaotic for you masochists out there, then lucky for you can make it even harder. You have the cake, which just adds more notes to the entire thing, and the popsicle, which never lets the tension die, meaning basically you're gonna sit there for eternity and never stop playing, ever. You never see your family again. Luckily, there are also helpful items like the sweets that plays notes for you, or the taiyaki that removes notes out of the thing, making it slightly easier. And honestly, that's it. It's very simple, but it's really fun going through each and every song, playing it with, you know, every character. Obviously, you can play as your favourite girl, which should be Ritsu. Or who knows, maybe you'll grow a severe hatred for the most innocent looking character in the show, and it turns out to be your arch nemesis. Anyway, up next is the... Well, not the gameplay, the menu is actually really just chill. It's got more of a chibi art style, which is, I think, a lot better in comparison to the GTA San Andreas models that they've got going on. You're actually able to customize the club room with different items you get from completing each level, all being references from the anime itself. And as you add more, it makes it look more like the room from the anime, which is really cool. Now, everyone's always debating, oh, who's the strongest anime character? Oh, Goku's this strong. Oh, Saitama's the strongest. Well, look at this. Not only is she carrying this shit like it's nothing, when she puts it down, it flips around, meaning not only was she carrying this shit by herself, when she put it down, she flipped it around and it landed perfectly. There's also a section called Singer, which supposedly lets you edit videos, but I wouldn't know that because whoever was making the translation for my version of the game had a stroke halfway through making it, so I have just no idea what it said or what I was supposed to do. There was a clock for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And there's a bunch of collectibles, things like photos that I mentioned earlier, the songs that you unlock, voice lines, and customizations, which I'm very disappointed that this customization is not in the game. However, this is in the game, so that kind of makes up for it. Yes, I did just get a haircut halfway through a video. Fucking deal with it.
Did you get that thing all down?
But anyway, that's really all I got from my 4 hours of playtime through the game. So let's move on to the... There's a shit bunch to do in this game, and I absolutely love how dedicated it is towards the show itself. There's so many small references that add so much more charm, and I feel like it's so much just fun when just, you know, you notice a little reference from the show. Although the gameplay is a bit all over the place.
Ali, you're a nice guy.
And Muggy makes me want to carve my own face off. Realistically, you're not really going to get mad when these guys are on your screen. And even with some of the gameplay problems, it's still a really fun game either way. Anyway, here's just some random clips I thought were funny when I was playing through the game myself. The fuck keeps texting me in this dire moment? Yo, what is this? They changed it up. That was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. Where the fuck are we? Where could we possibly be? To 5 players can play. Well, you see, I don't have any friends. How is that a D? It even makes sense. Stop giving me popsicles. Oh, it's like I've got the fucking hand coordination of like a 90-year-old man. This is way easier. Mate, the difficulty spikes from just like... I need to shut my mouth. I need to shut my mouth.